Welcome in, new Sarah Fraser Show podcast. And per usual, we are live on TikTok. So we're going to go to the TikTok lines because people have a lot of questions. But there's some continuing breaking welcome to Plathville news. Right now, as we speak, Veronica Plath, and it's not, Veronica's last name is not even Plath. She and Micah Plath were not married. But Veronica, who was dating Micah Plath, is apparently live on Reddit right now, answering people's questions, and now is alluding to the fact that Micah Plath cheated on her. I have just been sent, as we are recording, so these pictures are going to go up, pictures of Micah Plath with a new woman. But Veronica is on Reddit saying that this isn't a new woman, that allegedly saying Micah Plath was out doing her dirty, cheating on her with somebody else. So we're going to get to that, but we do have a 6th lawsuit. I had teased this in yesterday's podcast. We have a 6th lawsuit in the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively case. If you are confused, I'm going to give you a very handy breakdown of where we are at with Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively and all the updates. Then we have another hater of Meghan Markle. I mean, tell me who likes her. It's a short list. I mean, who's on that? I haven't even watched that damn special. Was it any good? Or was it With Love from Meghan or something? Well, you'll never believe a major publisher, a major magazine editor is coming out basically saying how delusional she was when they put her on the cover of their magazine, that she actually believed they were putting her on the cover of their magazine because of her philanthropy work and not because she was with Prince Harry. Like she walked into the office and she was like, oh, excuse me. This seems like this is because I am getting married to Prince Harry. And they were like, well, yeah. And she's like, oh, I thought this article was going to be about my philanthropy work. Wrong. All right. And of course, I do have some Sister Wives scoop. So first and foremost, let me just thank everybody for the amazing well wishes I am getting for having our 4th miscarriage. Oh, Dina says, are you pregnant yet? No, unfortunately not. I just had my 4th miscarriage at 9 weeks. So my miscarriages started at the age of 36 and I am 43. We got pregnant naturally because a lot of you guys have been following. I was supposed to do my egg donor transfer in February, but I got pregnant spontaneously. So, of course, like everybody at Reproductive Partners here in LA, not sponsored, they've just been terrific, was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, you're naturally pregnant. The baby was measuring on time. But per usual, I've just had signs from the beginning. I had signs. Now, the doctor's office was like, don't worry, like women have bleeding in the first trimester. And I'm like, I know, but I've had a healthy pregnancy and I've never had these problems. So I don't think this is a good sign. And by the 9-week checkup, what was supposed to be the 9-week checkup, there was no heartbeat, right? So I just had a DNC a couple of weeks ago. I'm recovering from that. I'm most angry because now it delays our egg donor transfer until May or June, right? But all on the universe, all on God's timing, right? And I don't know, for whatever reason, my 2025 has been off to a crazy start. So I'm going to just start posting extremely positive things, like nauseatingly positive things on my socials in hopes that that just attracts more positivity. Megan says, so sorry and so tough. Infertility doctors are amazing. They really are. I have to say, now I haven't always had good luck, but I finally found Dr. Wong here in LA, and I've been very impressed with he and his team. Okay. Do you have MTHFR, which is a gene? I don't. And my husband and I have both been genetically tested. We're not carriers for the same thing. We're like polar opposites on the genetic spectrum. But it just seems, for whatever reason, our sperm and egg, we love each other in real life, but I think our egg and sperm, I'm not sure that they do. Oh my God. So Future says, oh my God, you're really going through it right now, girl. I'm so sorry. I'm sending you all the best. Does anyone else go through this? I can't figure out if it's me, if I need a personal cleanse. I lost my favorite uncle, my gunkle. We were going to buy a house. We were under contract with a home, only to have Navy Fed. I'm angry with them. Navy Fed, who like we'd been talking to the loan officer for 2 months, drops an email on us. Oh, P.S. Sorry, your loan's denied. You'll only be qualifying for half because I own my own business and my husband is a 1099er. So your income doesn't count for 2 years till you're at that 1099 gig. And everybody was like, shouldn't the lender have told you that from like the get-go? I'm like, no, she let us go under contract in escrow. Put $30,000 in a bank account. So, and then somebody just asked me, Sarah, are you loan qualified yet? How's the house hunting? I haven't even had time. Then on top of that, we found out we were pregnant. I lost one of my favorite cousins. No, we have, I haven't even had time. You guys have sent me amazing loan people. I'm going to reach out. Thank you. And I know there's been some loan officers that have like followed up and so grateful. I haven't had a second to catch my breath. So the house hunting is going to resume. We had to put like our foster to adopt on hold just because there's been so much stuff. You guys know this. I'm the executor of my Uncle George's will, which is hysterical. George was a trip in real life and then in death. I'm going to do a whole segment on how many sex toys did you clean out from your loved one's house. I mean, it was atrocious. Like George at least keeps me laughing. You guys, I'm not joking. I think I lost count at 30 sex toys. Like, how many Didos does a person need? Like, how many? I mean, I'm doing a whole show on my Uncle George because he wanted to come on this podcast and talk about his love life when his career was slowing down. But we just never got that. Oh my God, go George. People are saying, you guys, when I tell you, have you ever watched The Villages? It's a documentary. It's on Hulu. It came out like 4 years ago, and it follows people that are in their 70s that are retired. They go down to Florida to a retirement community called The Villages, and they go nuts. They do drugs. They have all kinds of sex. They get STDs. That was my Uncle Georgie. Like you guys, the amount of sex he was having at 73, I don't even know how you have time. The guy was on every app, Grinder. He was getting 100 messages and he had at least 35 Didos. I mean, what? Oh my God. What? Georgie was living the life. Okay. He went out the way he wanted. But there's no update on the house. Foster to adopt has to be put on hold just temporarily. I mean, the people that run the resource family program out here in LA are like, girl, what is going on with you? I know. Oh, and I'm getting messages. Some comments on this live are filtered to protect the community's experience. Oh, piss off. What 14-year-old? Everybody's in school. I hate TikTok so much. I swear to God. Everybody is in school, okay? These people are grown that are on this live TikTok. Like, stop filtering things. Wait, this is my worst nightmare. Wait, what, Monica, what part is your worst nightmare? I don't know what's worse. Being found out or finding out? Oh, okay. So Monica's home is filled with love toys. And then she's worried if she passes away suddenly, people finding out. Well, I knew Monica's saying the toys. I knew he was living his best life. But when I tell you guys that the amount of love toys that were in drawers in the bathroom and in protein containers, it was like, what? I'm like, dude, I know you were having a good time, but how many freaking, like, how many do we need here, my love? You know what I mean? I knew it would be an adventure. And you guys, my uncle's place, he already had his like kind of friend/boyfriend. His friend/boyfriend already came and did like a first clean out before we got there. And y'all, my 77-year-old mother, we had to usher her out of the room. Like, it was so... No, like, honestly, Monica's like protein containers. You guys, he was hiding love toys in the protein containers. Why? I don't know. I have no clue. My Georgie was living his best life. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't care. He was into leather at the end of his life, and he is living in his afterlife. He is somewhere glorious in a dungeon, and he's so happy. But no, I mean, you need a plan. If you are a person who likes a lot of love toys and various contraptions in your house because his boyfriend slash friend came and like got the swing. Okay. Okay. But there was like one sweep done. And then when we got there, when my brother and I got there and my mom, oy vey. I mean, it was still like, George. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, no, you guys need a plan. If your house is, and you are an adult and you are doing what you want and you are into kink and you freaky deaky, you need a plan. Okay. Because you don't know what's going to happen. My uncle passed in 5 minutes, leaving the Met Opera House from a massive heart attack. He thought he was going to have time to clean that place up. Turns out he didn't. All right. So I mean, you need a plan. People are like, can you imagine? You guys, my mom, I couldn't, like, she was picking up things that go in crevices of your body. And she was just like, oh, is this a paperweight? I'm like, um, it, yeah, I just would say to her, yeah, it is. And he really was quite the decorator. That's what I would say to her. And then my brother would be like, why don't you come out here in the living room and help me look for various paperwork? And we would give her all the shoes to go through to see if we were going to give them to family or to donate them. Y'all, I mean, there were things that you put every which way in the shoes, honey, in the closet, under the bed. You guys, I had to get my mom. No, and there were electrical things. Don't even get me started. And then people told me after the fact that there's actually a market for pre-owned adult love toys that people were like, what? No, I'm not kidding. There was probably $1,000 worth of new and used love toys. And people were like, you can actually sell those. I'm like, excuse me? You mean we could have gotten $600 for someone's gently used toy? Who is buying that? And what am I going to sit here and list it? It is go wash your hands. No, we actually got gloves. I'm not kidding you. You guys, it was so gnarly. Like we had like everyone, we were like, you know what? I think we need gloves. It was, if y'all are out there and y'all are freaks, you need a plan. No, we had to get my mom out of the room. It was if she knew the extent, she would be beside herself. Beside herself. Whew. Facebook Marketplace. People were like, put 'em on. I mean somebody in a Ralph's parking lot with a whole box of adult toys for $100, and then they're going to want to dicker me down to whatever. Like, no, I was not. They all went in the trash, okay? And some poor trash guy who is putting them in a landfill is going to be like, what in the Lord? Did an adult love toy shop close in Connecticut? Because what is this? Anyhow, that's a little life update, and you have to laugh. And George was the funniest of them all. So I know he'd be laughing, but you guys, the amount of old school corn DVDs. I think at one point my mom picked up something about Israeli men, and she was like, no, here's one. She literally nonchalantly, she's like, oh, and this is about Israeli men. And I'm like, historical documentary, I think just about I guess, the hardship of Israeli men, I think. Anyway. Oh my God, you guys. I should have documented it. I can't believe I'm in a state of like, what is going on with my life? So I just didn't. You can pay to send those packages to others. Obviously, they are empty, but anyone who sees it thinks otherwise. Oh my God, Sarah, you're so real. Someone feels so bad for my life. They've just given me probably a $10 crown. Thank you, Crystal. Someone just was like, girl, what is going on with your life? Here's a $10 pledge on TikTok. Kathy says you have to laugh. Kathy, you have to laugh. You have to laugh. If I've realized anything, and I had a drink in George's honor after I had my miscarriage, and I just thought, I'm toasting Georgie. And So be it. Anyway, I will do a whole story. I'm going to do a whole show and people can weigh in on what they found when their loved ones passed. Like, what was the strangest thing that you found in your loved one's home? Because I think I take the cake. Jennifer says, LOL. All right. Let's talk really quick, sister wives. And then I need to get on Reddit in real time because Veronica, Micah Plath's ex-girlfriend, is on a feed right now. Welcome to Plathville. Going live, going wild, and I guess spilling the truth. So we will talk about that. First of all, sister wives, because everybody loves it, comes to my podcast for a lot of this. Meri Brown is threatening to hire a lawyer, that we see this in the mid-season preview, to settle Coyote Pass. Now, does she actually, are we going to see these lawyers? Because Janelle has apparently consulted with a lawyer over Coyote Pass. Meri's now threatening to get a lawyer. Jen, her bestie, has told her, get a lawyer against Cody and let's figure out Coyote Pass, because Cody does not want to share with them, apparently, the estimate that the realtor has given them. He doesn't want to really sit down and talk about whose parcel is what. The whole thing. Okay. So these women want out of Coyote Pass. It is very quiet about what's happening with Coyote Pass. I believe that Cody and Robin are going to buy the two of them out. And Meri refuses on her Fridays with Friends and her lives to talk about Coyote Pass because she says it's an ongoing storyline. I want to see the actual lawyer. I don't think we're going to see the actual lawyer because, like I said, I think Cody and Robin, I know people are like they're a financial mess. Well, they got enough financial good stuff going on to be able to afford their $2.1 million house. And Coyote Pass, tax-wise, has been assessed for $1.3 million. So divided 4 ways or somewhat like that, you know, they're each getting about 300 and something thousand. So we will see. But I don't think they're actually going to get a lawyer. I think these are threats. I think Janelle probably spoke to a lawyer. I don't understand on this show, why are we not seeing these lawyers? That's why I just think that they're still somewhat getting along with Cody and Robin. And I think Cody and Robin are going to pay them some money because where are the lawyers? Why aren't we seeing this? On every other reality show, they bring in the lawyers, the divorce lawyers, the tax lawyers, the entertainment lawyers. Monica says, I agree. I don't think they actually retained attorneys. I don't either. But that is a sticking point that people keep talking about with Meri Brown. Did you hear she's threatening to hire a lawyer? I hope she does. These women deserve their coins. But I do think Coyote Pass is going to be settled. As of just a couple of weeks ago, when people pulled up the tax and the deed and everything, Cody, Robin's name, everybody's current name, of course, except for Christine, because we know she's out, still appears on Coyote Pass. So nothing has been transferred. That's interesting to me because I don't think you can control, just because I don't think you can tell a court like, oh, hey, we're on a reality show. Please don't update the deed until a certain date. But I don't know. Maybe you can. I have no idea. And, Cody is still in a lawsuit against Christine, which will have some resolution in May. So maybe Cody doesn't want to make any financial moves until this custody and child support situation with Christine over Truly is settled. But I want to see the lawyers. They keep teasing these lawyers in the previews. Let's see it. I don't think we're going to see them because if there were lawyers, I think they would show a snapshot. But I could be wrong on that. We'll see. All right, let's break down where we're at with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, because over the weekend, we have now had a 6 lawsuit filed. We have Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively last week going to the courts asking for dismissals of the lawsuits that Justin Baldoni and Steve Sarowitz from Wayfair have filed. They want those dismissed. They want them gone. What the hell is going on with this case? Okay. And this new lawsuit, Justin Baldoni and Jennifer Abel, his former PR publicist, have filed against a woman, Stephanie Jones, who used to be Baldoni's big publicist and Jennifer Abel's boss. They just filed it against this woman. You can see a picture of her on my TikTok at the Sarah Fraser Show. And it is so bizarre what is coming out about this lawsuit. I'm talking psychics, paranoia, holding Jennifer Abel and her phone basically hostage, like subtly threatening her with security guards. And are we beginning to see the beginning of the end? All right, so let's review very quickly everything that's happening. First of all, last week, Ryan Reynolds wants the Judge Lyman, to throw out his case, which is Justin Baldoni and Wayfair filed against Ryan Reynolds, essentially saying that Deadpool spoof was designed to mock Baldoni, hurt his career, damage his reputation. Last week, Ryan Reynolds asked to dismiss that. His attorneys don't deny the fact that Deadpool, the whole entire spoof, was based off of Justin Baldoni. And people are mocking Ryan Reynolds and his attorneys the way they wrote this potential dismissal, where they even use movie terms like burn book, of course, which is a famous one that we know from the movies. And Ryan Reynolds basically just says, oh, I do think that Justin Baldoni's a predator. And I truly believe that. So he can't sue me because I think he's a real creep. And you can only sue somebody for defamation if you don't really believe it. This is his lame excuse. Then Lively, 2 days later last week, also files to have Justin Baldoni and Wayfair's lawsuit dismissed against her, citing, which everybody online, legal people are saying this is a terrible argument. Who is, Michael Gottlieb is a big-time attorney. What in the hell is he filing? Lively's attorneys filed last week that she believes that she can accuse Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment, Jamie Heath, Wayfair Productions, of sexual harassment and destroying her business, but they are not allowed to respond or retaliate. That is essentially what her complaint says to Judge Lyman. Oh, I'm protected by California law that you cannot retaliate against a sexual harassment victim who comes forward. They have no right to file this lawsuit because I'm the victim. This is like the excuse she's trying to use. Now let's go to Leslie Sloan. Leslie Sloan, who reps Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who's a publicist, wanted her lawsuit dismissed and put the discovery on pause because Judge Lyman did that for the New York Times. He put the discovery part of the New York Times lawsuit, which is Justin Baldoni filed a $400 million lawsuit against the New York Times for, sitting on this story, collaborating with Blake Lively, and essentially manipulating text messages to make it appear far worse than what was really happening. Okay. So Leslie Sloan has been denied. She wanted her lawsuit dismissed. It's not happening. And the judge said, no, we're not pausing the discovery process for you. We are for the New York Times to give them more time to try to bring evidence to Judge Lyman to dismiss this case, but it's not happening for Leslie Sloan, who is Team Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, so that's going to move forward. Okay. There's 6 lawsuits going on. Judd Wallace, who's a social media expert out of Texas, still moving forward with his lawsuit against Blake Lively. Blake Lively, in her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and Wayfair, brought up Judd Wallace's name out of nowhere, basically saying, oh, yeah, they hired and worked with Judd Wallace, this social media guy who manipulates bots and does all this stuff. Wallace has unequivocally denied having anything to do. He doesn't have bots in LA. He didn't pay for any bots. He didn't even orchestrate a social media campaign against her. In fact, the only information he gave Justin Baldoni and Wayfair is basically letting them know, hey guys, she's already hated on social media. So just an FYI, I don't know specifically if he said to them, FYI, you don't have to use bots, but he specifically gave a report, a email, a phone call to Baldoni and his team, letting them know that Lively is already disliked online and she did it herself. Okay. Wallace is standing by the fact that by Blake Lively using his name in the lawsuit, he has already had his reputation, and his company completely damaged. That lawsuit is still ongoing. This is where it gets very fascinating. Over the weekend on Friday, Justin Baldoni and Wayfair Studios, as well as Jennifer Abel, his former publicist who worked for this woman, Stephanie Jones, who you can see on my TikTok, Abel and Baldoni have now filed a new lawsuit. This marks the 6th lawsuit in this entire saga, okay, against Stephanie Jones. They allege that Stephanie Jones is the person who leaked text messages between Baldoni and Jennifer Abel. Jennifer Abel was his day-to-day PR person, even though she worked for Stephanie Jones, that all those private text messages were leaked by a bitter Stephanie Jones, whose career was sinking, is now over, and she was apparently going to psychics. This is how desperate her career had become. She was going and consulting with psychics on her staff, on her career, on her company. Jennifer Abel worked for Stephanie Jones. Both worked for Baldoni, and Jones was the boss. Abel was PR, working day to day with Justin, Wayfair, and Jamie Heath. Stephanie Jones stole Abel's cell phone, basically using security guards at one point when Jennifer Abel announced that she was leaving, because Stephanie Jones has this reputation of being so toxic to the point that StephanieLeaks.com is a real website where former employees of Stephanie Jones have gone and aired their complaint of how much of a toxic human being she is. Okay. So when Jennifer Abel had announced she was leaving Stephanie Jones, and by the way, Stephanie Jones, her career, all while it ends with us, was coming out, and Blake Lively her whole company was crashing. Stephanie Jones was losing major clients, including Jeff Bezos and The Rock, and had begun becoming so paranoid that she was consulting with a psychic, which I will get to. But when Abel finally said to Stephanie Jones, "I'm out of here. You're a nut job. I'm done." Okay, I don't think she said that exactly, but you know what I mean. Then Stephanie held her phone hostage for hours, using a security guard to meet Jennifer Abel at the door, basically saying, you'll get your company phone back. You'll get your phone back, but I need all of your content materials. And then for the next several hours, while Jennifer Abel stood outside at like a coffee shop freaking out, they are now saying in this lawsuit that Stephanie Jones illegally extracted text messages, emails, everything, and essentially gave that, because she felt like her career was crumbling and it was over, gave that to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' team in a desperate attempt to save her career, I think. Okay, so I'll tell you my theory. We don't know the whole theory yet. Okay, so StephanieLeaks.com is a website you can go and see where everyone apparently that's worked for Stephanie Jones hates her. They even recount meetings where Stephanie Jones would turn up loud music, so loud so she could berate employees. Okay, it was such an abusive day-to-day environment. Stephanie at one point even used her psychic to try to gain control over Jennifer Abel, or at least that's my interpretation, because the psychic told Stephanie Jones that Jennifer Abel, this is an employee of Stephanie's, that Jennifer had a gambling addiction and was an alcoholic. This is just like a psychic going, "Oh yes, your employee, Jennifer Abel, alcoholic and gambling addict." Now, how the fuck would a psychic know that? By the way, I've had psychics on my show. I've spent way too money myself on psychics and astrologers. And this is my thing. If your destiny is written, wouldn't they all have the same message? This is why I don't believe in psychics. I mean, they're fun. I never spend any money on psychics or astrologers anymore. I gave that up a couple years ago. I did an astrology course and that was it for me. I was like, oh, this is like, I mean, everybody has a different reading on your astrology chart. It's like, well, this is like bananas. If your life is written, wouldn't they all know all this? Okay. Jones announced that per her psychic, that Jennifer Abel, this is what she said in a meeting, apparently, in front of people, that Jennifer would soon be pregnant with twins. And Jennifer believes that Jones did this strategically to try to gain control over her and embarrass her in front of other coworkers because Jennifer Abel had fertility issues. Jennifer decided to quit, and Stephanie wanted her to corroborate false accusations against a senior employee that worked for Stephanie Jones in order for them to get him out. When Jennifer Abel refused, this is when Abel alleges that Jennifer ambushed her with security guards and extracted information and then gave it to Blake Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan. That day, Leslie Sloan messages Melissa Nathan, who was working for Baldoni at the time, and essentially says, we are going to sue the shit out of you. Now, if this all turns out to be true in this new lawsuit, there was no subpoena for the text messages. They were obtained illegally, and I have no idea what that does. I'm not a legal mind. I have no idea what that does for the future of these cases. But if these text messages, which were then leaked to the New York Times, were obtained illegally, I don't see how. I don't know. Can you move forward with a case? I'm not sure. A lot of people, content creators, people that are covering this story believe that Stephanie Jones, her PR career is over. She used to work with huge people in Hollywood, including, like I mentioned, Bezos and The Rock, but looks like it's over. And this lawsuit is major against Stephanie Jones by Justin Baldoni and, of course, Steve Sirowitz and Jennifer Abel, although Jennifer Abel and Justin Baldoni are really the two mentioned in it. But Stephanie Jones sounds like, just a toxic human being. I think if in fact this is true, that she leaked these text messages, I think this was a desperate attempt where she was losing celebrity clients. She was losing control of her employees. And I feel like she must have tried to make a deal or made a under the table deal with Leslie Sloan, basically saying, I have information for your clients, Ryan Reynolds. I have no proof that she did this, but I'm just saying somebody in this position, they know their power, right? Like there must have been a backdoor deal, or maybe she was just spiraling. She was so paranoid and out of control. She just wanted revenge and hated Abel so much and felt like Abel was going to take her down. She just did this. But to me, there had to be, Stephanie Jones must have thought she was going to get something out of this, that she was going to come over to Leslie Sloan's team, or she was going to become Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were going to help her secure 5 new celebrity clients. There had to be something, right? So that's where we're at. Hopefully this breakdown makes it a little bit clearer. There's so many great content creators too covering this story and breaking it down, from Zach Peter. I get a lot of recaps and information from him, and Donna Bowling, who I love, and Be Better here on TikTok. All of them do such amazing work breaking down these stories. But this seems to be the latest over the past 5 days. And my own theory is Stephanie Jones had to have done some sort of backdoor deal with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in order to leak those text messages to them and give them up like that. Other people think she was just so paranoid and she talking to her psychic. Who knows? Monty asks if this trial is going to be televised. I have no clue. The trial date is still for March 2026, but I think, look, all this that's coming out, we've got 6 lawsuits, we've got dismissals that are being asked for. This is going to be settled. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively do not want this to go to trial. They are in over their heads. I think they know it. I think their attorney is like, let's exhaust every little minutia. Let's see if we can get them on any technicality, if we can get this, and then we'll eventually go to, if we can't, they'll go to the next level, which I think is why we brought in Nick Shapiro. Because remember, Michael Gottlieb, who is Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' attorney, he's already a crisis manager. Crisis, he handles crisis and strategy and all that. But then they bring in Nick Shapiro, who's like probably the most famous crisis manager because he's consulted with the Obamas and the CIA and helped get the country through Sandy Hook. He's here, I think, to go, they're in a crisis. Lively and Reynolds, their reputation. He's there to go, all right, let's lay this out long term, because we've got until March. Well, January or whatever till next year. So how do we get them out of this? Well, okay, let's file a bunch of motions. Let's try to dismiss. If that doesn't work, they're going to go to the next level because there aren't that many positive stories. A lot of people thought Nick Shapiro was brought in because there were going to be all these positive stories. So far, there are not that many positive stories coming out about Lively. There aren't. South by Southwest, maybe you could argue that was her first appearance and it went fairly well, but it wasn't like this. There was this overwhelming love fest for Lively. Okay. Let's move on lastly to Welcome to Plathville. I have talked about this story probably ad nauseum for those of you who are not Plathville fans, like over the past 5 days, like you're over it. But for those of you who are Plathville fans like I am, it's just getting started. On Reddit right now, Welcome to Plathville is the page. There is a leaked photo or a published photo of what appears to be Micah Plath spotted with a new girlfriend after breaking up with Veronica. He and Veronica broke up after Lydia Plath's wedding. I know this for a fact, been confirmed to me by multiple sources. Okay, now, oh no. Okay, it looks like Veronica. Okay, so Veronica is on this thread as we speak. 3 hours ago. Sorry to break it to you all. This is not a new photo of Micah. I threw that beanie away a long time ago because in it, he's wearing a beanie. So people are like, are you going to respond to my questions? Asking Veronica, was Olivia receptive to your apology, or have you not apologized for the cruel things you said about her? If you're really Veronica, people are asking, why aren't you one verified? And why would you use the last name Plath when you weren't even married? LOL. Okay. Off sis. Okay, hold on. Veronica goes on to say 3 hours ago, I can say that Micah is retaliating and trying to get to me since my sister posted a story he viewed with my new, more educated and taller man. Oh, Veronica's got a new man, so Micah pulled up the old photos, yet I had and threw away that hat pictured. He probably cheated with that girl, but that's beside the point. Okay, so Veronica Plath is on here. She's alleging that he may have cheated. Veronica says, yes, new man's did not go to the Plath's School of Learning. He went to an Ivy League college. Oh, excuse me. Veronica basically calling Micah Plath dumb. Veronica goes on to say just 2 hours ago, I had severe rose-colored glasses on for Micah. My best friends said it right. I wanted another puppy project. They are beyond what they show the public. I was scared to lose him, but I lost myself in the process. Somebody writes to Veronica, we've all been there before. Keep your head up high. Best of luck to you. Veronica says, thanks, love. He truly is not shit. I'm embarrassed I dealt with him so long. I guess I thought things would get better. Can't build an honest man out of a mess. Okay. Sounds like she is very upset about this breakup still. Aren't you embarrassed to call yourself a Plath? Veronica Plath writes, for the record, on the record, yes, it's so embarrassing. I do not align with barbaric and pre-medieval beliefs of the chaotic mess of that family. She's still on here as of like an hour ago. Veronica says that she and Micah were together for 3.5 years, but when he goes near the family, it's almost like a sleeper cell spy. It's insane. Someone says, I can see him being a jackhammer in the bedroom. He gives jackhammer vibes when you're having sex. Thoughts? She says, I can tell you one thing. It's not very good. Okay. Wow. Okay, so Micah Plath, poor Micah Plath, apparently not good in the bedroom. Veronica airing it out here. Wow, someone writes, you guys were together for 3.5 years. We only saw maybe a year, trying to figure out how that lines up with the storylines of each season. Veronica says, you guys only see a small part of the story. I joined the show because he was cheating on me with the girl from season 5. I only joined out of pure rage and proving a point. He only lived in LA for a few months. He got into a bad situation and I pulled him out and I saved Micah. Our relationship was the opposite of a Disney princess. The woman saved the man. I wouldn't say he wasted my time. He taught me valuable lessons. I'm glad I didn't marry him as well. The family wanted us to get married so he could take half of everything I own. One of the biggest red flags was when Kim would always try and sell things like her boat, and she wanted his name on the title of my house. Oh, wow. People are saying that you dodged a bullet. Why the hell would Kim want you to buy her boat? And Veronica says, unfortunately, I have an NDA, so I remain cryptic to not get sued. I think posting memes instead is just what I'm going to stick to. Is it possible for you to do another AMA? Somebody writes, for now, you'll just have to see my cryptic workarounds. Veronica, please DM me so we can get you verified. Someone says it's a fake account. And so Veronica says, how do I DM? Can I DM you on Instagram? And now Veronica says, this is all going down. Right now, as we speak, as an hour ago, Veronica writes, so I just got in legal trouble. The lawyers are working on it. Oh, people are writing, okay, good luck with that. Whatever, you sound just as crazy as the Plath family, someone writes. I think you love the drama. Like, why are you even here? Go live your life and leave this crap show behind. Talking to a bunch of strangers about your personal life, just absolutely daft behavior. Veronica says, touche, why are you here? And the person writes back, because I really enjoy watching train wrecks. Okay. What? Okay, we've learned a lot about this. Girl, I don't care if it's actually you or not. I'm here for whatever this account is doing. Veronica Plath writes back, it's me. Unfortunately, I can't change my name right now. Okay. Who started the fight at Lydia's wedding? All right, here's some good tea. Is it true that Isaac messed up Micah? Veronica writes, I was asleep at my hotel, but then city's over at the only half-decent hotel, yet caught the blame for the fight. Let's just say Micah's modeling days can say bye-bye. Wow, I told you guys. And someone writes, oh my gosh, Isaac really ripped a part of Micah's nose off? Isaac seems to be cool and calm-headed. Veronica writes, he's got an underage drinking problem. Oh my God. This is crazy on this Reddit right now. Well, you all ought to go on here if you're huge Plathville fans and read it ASAP. I think I got the juiciest stuff because probably going to be deleted. Okay. We had a full show today. Love you all. Thank you for all the good laughs and the good wishes. Things are going to get better. They always do. And it's funny, I don't know if other people feel this way because life happens to everybody, but I still feel so blessed. You know what I mean? I have such a great husband, and I'm just so grateful my little boy is like safe, healthy. That's like all I want. Myself, my family, that's like all I want. So I really appreciate it. Our pregnancy journey will happen, whether it's foster to adopt, whether it's egg donor, which I'm absolutely pursuing. And like I said, I'm the most angry about that part. Like I wish, but it's all on God's timing. There was a reason, right? There was a lot going on. I had to clean out Georgie's sex toys, and I'm still the executor of his will, which I have to go and do things. So there you have it. Okay. Love you all. Bye, everybody.